jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yeah, once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports. You know what it is. Salute to each and every one of my supporters, the ones who's been rocking out with me, support me, and understand what the real life is about in this media game. Appreciate what you do, how you do it. Continue to show up. Only thing I ask of you is if you can hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Because if you like something and you support it, then you shouldn't have to be asked. And we got a hot one again. You know what? It took me a minute to see if I really want to speak about it. You know, I had to let everybody pretty much get this off their chest because people get real sensitive and touchy. You know what I'm saying? It seems like I have to become an unemployed life coach. You know what I'm saying? And basically go back into the credits that I earned in college and include them into my dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like psychology, you know, sociology, you know, stuff like that. Your man, Blair the Flair Cobb, is on a warpath right now. He is hell bent on making a name for himself in a short period of time. This man is on a fast track with his mouth, y'all. Let's talk about Blair Cobb. Blair the Flair Cobb, 15 victories, 0 defeats, 1 draw, 10 coming by way of knockout. He is indeed a southpaw, y'all. And you know, I've heard channels. The first thing they mentioned about Blair was, you know, the fact that he was down against Carlos Ortiz Cervantes back in 2019. That's been a long time ago. The man is still undefeated. All right. I'm not advocating for Blair. No way, no how. But you know, it's kind of enlightening to hear some fresh trash talk. You know what I'm saying, in the sport. He just happened to be a part and he just happened to be on the roster in the welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it even more interesting. So he is an undefeated welterweight fighter. And of course, I want to take you through the audio of what's causing the big stir. You know what I'm saying? What has people all, you know, some people, on the other hand, are pretty much perturbed. And then the other individuals, they seem like they feel they're pretty much in the mindset of being jocular. You know what I'm saying? All happy, go lucky. They like what they're hearing. I don't know. You tell me. But I can tell you this. His words are absolutely stinging. This guy is spitting venom like a cobra would at distance and hitting the mark. Why? Because Errol Spence finally responded. Errol Spence responded to Blair Cobb. So he must have did something right to the point where he gained the interest of Errol Spence to go on Twitter. Because we all know in social media, man, the response mechanism this day and time is Twitter, IG. This is amazing. You know, the communication process, if you really want to get some together, to speak to somebody that you have an issue with, They take to social media. It's no more one-on-one phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it's Twitter because it brings attention to the fighter. You know. So check this out, y'all. Let me go through the audio and let me know what you think. And shout out to Fight Hype.
They keep focused on the right track. They'll get a shot at these titles. So we'll see if it's too early.
He's afraid of Terence Crawford. What was Wade making that fight so long? He waited so long that he became devastated. If you don't do what's right, you will be cursed. And guess what happens? We don't see him fight for anything for a long time.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Hearing Blair talk, he reminded me of Billy Graham. It's almost like he had this cow congregation in a mega church, because we have a lot of those down here in Atlanta. And you see him on TV. I actually attended some of them. It's just amazing how big those churches are. But anyway, he seems like he can be a preacher. You know what I'm saying? So Blair is pretty much saying that Errol Spence is cursed. That is huge. Like, this is a huge insult. This is a damning insult. You know what I'm saying? To come down to it, this is piercing. This is one of those deep rooted, intramuscular, intravenous type of shit that hits you in the veins. It just goes throughout your body. Somebody like Blair Cobb, 32 years old, he's talking his shit, but he hasn't proven anything. Right now, his tongue is being the sword to how he's cutting through Errol Spence exterior. He's just talking a lot of shit back and forth. I'm talking about derogatory, insulting, type of vulgar, baleful type comments, bro. And he's gonna have to back this shit up. I like when he came out and he was speaking about, Errol Spence. He said what he said about Terence Crawford, Boots Ennis. He was pretty much igniting everybody. He was setting the flame to everybody on TBV. Now, lately, he's just been on this recent open workout. He said that Errol Spence was cursed. And he pretty much speak about him not making the fight. Is that going to potentially get him a fight? It may be. It may potentially get him a fight. I don't know if it's going to be 147. It might be 154 whenever Errol Spence chooses to move up. But one thing I like about Blair Cobbs is he's speaking up. He's being very vociferous about letting his voice be heard. But on the other hand, actions speak louder than words. And if you're going to say these things about Errol Spence being cursed, you're going to have to somewhat, if you get the opportunity and they let you in the door, probably not, but they let you in the door, you're going to have to bag those words up, bro. If you don't bag these words up and you on the fast track at 32 years old, your career is done. You're done. You have walked up on Jaron Ennis. You have said this about Errol Spence. You have made mention about freaking Terence Crawford. You're going to have to back it up.
One injury after the next. Car injury, this injury, eye injury. He missed the one opportunity to beat fucking man Pacquiao. What now? He's a coward. And I don't respect cowards. I know he's a good fighter, but he's a coward.
And the only thing I can say about him clarifying that another man is a coward, it seems like there's an underlying issue besides him wanting to face Errol Spence in the welterweight division. From what Blair Cobbs went through in his life, man, he has been through the hellfire. Real talk. Not many of us can speak on such a backstory that the journey and travels was in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? This man, father was into certain dealings where he had to, walk around and be inconspicuous, change his identity and everything else. It was a lot going on with Blair's childhood. So for him to now come for Errol Spence, it seems like there's something underlining we don't know about. I don't know. It just seems like he knows or he has some type of interaction. Someone says something for him to say Errol Spence is a coward. Even I haven't called Errol Spence as a coward. I haven't, I haven't came to the conclusion that he's a coward. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to be a coward, there has to be an action that sat with somebody the wrong way where you felt like Errol Spence was absolutely 150% wrong in the way he went about doing that. And when he should have just came to a conclusion to say, I'm holding myself accountable. I'm apologize for this because it hurt so many people. He didn't. He chose to stay away from it. He chose to digress. I didn't see that. I haven't seen that in his career. Like all the shit talking in boxing. Okay, cool. But to call a man a coward just because the Terrence Crawford fight hasn't happened. I don't, my compass, my moral compass is not taking me in the direction for that. You know what I'm saying? I like the energy of Blair Cobb, but my moral compass is not pointing in the direction to say Errol Spence is a coward. You know what I'm saying? I don't get where he coming with that. He's giving us the Keith Thurman 4.0 right now. You know what I'm saying? Blair Cobb is front and center, and the mics are on, and the cameras are listening. Once again, the cameras are listening, people, and he's taking full advantage of it. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Showtime. Shaw News on deck. What's good with it? He got in Spence's head. Yeah, for sure. They've been talking. King Mitch on deck. What's good? He said he called the champion a coward. Sure enough.
Like I said, I ain't ducking it out of nobody.
So Blair said that Errol Spence was ruining boxing. Once again, I'm a bit puzzled. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. Because boxing... Hold up. That's not what I want. I have to be honest with you. When he said he was ruining boxing, he's ruined boxing. I didn't quite put a finger on that where I can say, okay, let me process this to find out where he's at with it. Where indeed did Errol Spence ruin boxing? Because boxing has so many other variables that's distracting from it, that's reducing it from what it could be. I don't know where he's going with that. There's so many alleyways in boxing. It's too many for one person to ruin boxing. So, though I like his energy, though I like Blair's energy, he's putting himself out there. It's just a lot that I'm listening to, rather. I don't get where he's coming from. I'm trying to find the video. I had it earlier of him doing an open workout. I really don't know where that video. Let me find it right quick. Okay, here we go.
He waited so long that he became devastated. If you don't do what's right, you will be cursed. And guess what happened? see him fight for anything for a long time. One injury after the next. Car injury, this injury, eye injury. He missed a fucking opportunity to beat fucking Manny Pacquiao. What now?
Blair has a lot to say. He's a mouthpiece right now on a motor. Blair is on his verbal motor right now. He's goddamn churning, goddamn it. He's revving the engine up and he's pressing the gas. And that's what Blair has going on. Now, he seems extremely angry. He definitely, if he was to get the fight with any of these champions, he couldn't go in there with that type of anger. But like I said before, I do like his energy and everything. I don't agree with everything he's saying, but he did call Spence a coward, man. You know what I'm saying? When you call another man a coward, it's piercing. You know what I'm saying? It has a different type of venom to it. You know what I'm saying? Some venom allow you to last a couple of hours. This right here is meant for you for immediate death. Blair is coming with the venom. You know what I'm saying? The poison. He's trying to sit up here and put that shit in Spence's head, put it in his veins, have him thinking about it, stressing the fuck out. You know, because he's within what? About a month. You know what I'm saying? He's there. You know, he's getting there. And all of a sudden, Blair's going heavy on the unified champion in the welterweight division. This is the other side of it for me. My analytics tell me that Blair understands he's 32 years old and he's trying to come with such fire that it burns down the walls that certain fighters might have up for him of interest. He want to burn them down and let them feel the heat. He has no other choice. The man is in his 30s already. He hasn't even won a world title. And he's vying, you know, to make some money. So pretty much he's going in on the top names, anyone who would listen. And if he keeps talking, let's just say he gets through his next fight, right? He gets through that fight and he gets on the microphone post-fight and let the people know. You know what I'm saying? He talk his shit. People are going to start tuning in, man. And we all know we live in a world right now where the dumb shit is what everybody want to listen to. They want to be a part of the dumb shit, the foolishness, the chicanery. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to be a part of. So what we used to think wouldn't work, it will work now. And Blair Cobb is testing the system. Blair's testing the motherfucking system. He's saying, okay, I don't have long. I need to get some money. Let me go hard. And that's exactly what he's going. He's going hard right in the yard, right in the hallway of Errol Spence and saying, you're a coward. You could have made the fight, but you didn't make the fight.
He's a coward. And I don't respect cowards. I know he's a good fighter, but he's a coward. And he ruined boxing.
You say that he's going to lose against blue guys. What is there that you see in him that looks like he's going to drop the unification down versus blue guys?
Because I can see it already in his eyes. You think I can't see it? You think I can't see what Alexis Rocha looked like when I look him in his eyes? You think I don't know what's happening with Errol Spence mentally, spiritually? It's all over his face. And when I look him in his eyes, I don't see a winner. I don't see a victorious winner in what he's going through.
Well, Flair. He said he doesn't see a winner. Well, Errol Spence is still undefeated. I have to call it as I see it now. He's still undefeated. But I pretty much understand the backside of what Blair Cobbs is speaking on. He's pretty much, you know, he's still coming with his objective point of view on why he feels the way he does about Errol Spence. When he says he don't see a winner, he might be saying a winner in life. You know what I'm saying? Blair may be, you know, pretty much speaking about he doesn't see a winner in life. He is not winning in life. L Foul Player on deck. What's good? He doesn't see a winner in life because you can't say he doesn't see a winner in the ring because Errol Spence is undefeated. He has 0 defeats to his name. So you can't sit up here and play dumb. You know what I'm saying? if you at that level where you're feeling a certain way, your emotional barometer is running over, and you're trying to get in the head of your compeers. I get it. I truly get it. But when you say, he's ruining boxing and he ain't a winner, I think he's more so talking about the winner in life. But let me just make note. I wish I could have been at this open workout, because those media people that's ringside, ooh, they have the life of a motherfucking turtle that took a sleeping pill. God damn it!
Everybody's going through struggles, trials, tribulations. I don't see it.
What do you think about the mental health thing? Do you think that's being overplayed by athletes, or is it just it's fair? It's a real thing.
Mental illness is serious. Mental health is one of the most serious things that always needs to be talked about, because it's not talked about enough when it comes to men. Men, real men like me and you, we come out here and we're fighting for our lives each day. You have to be a
So he said mental health, real men like me and you. That looks like a lot of women on the ringside, on the apron, but there are some men over there. Whoever asked that question, I'm not sure why they brought mental health into the equation when Yordenis Ugas, I haven't heard him say too much about mental illness. Errol Spence, I haven't heard him speak too much on mental illness. I understand mental illness is something that became popular for them to speak on when Tyson Fury returned to the sport, and he wanted to use that as a front side storyline because he got a new PR team and he wanted to speak about mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Ryan Garcia went through his deal. He wanted to talk about mental illness. I get it, but I do appreciate the response that he gave. That Blair Cobb, a person that's been through some very serious situation in his life, he said it was real. It's like it should be more consideration placed on mental illness as a whole. I respect that. I totally get it.
fighter like me to be fighting for. People are going through all kinds of stuff. We got this, we got that that's going against the grain of just saying that we're just the worst kind of people in the world. That's bullshit. We lose everything. The moment things don't go right, we lose everything. We lose our kids. We lose our freedom. We lose our respect. You know what I'm saying? Just for going through basic problems that everybody else goes through. Men have to be perfect, right?
Now, what Blair just said right there, bro, I pat him on the back for that. Real talk. That shit is true. I understand where he's actually dialed in and drawing this from. I understand the well for which he reaches. I get it, bro. I understand where he's basically sitting up here and defending men. I get everything he's talking about. But the conversation of the open workout has pretty much kind of swerved into the oncoming lane, because that topic really doesn't deal with what he was speaking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to say that Spence is a coward, then you have to take in consideration that what you just said about men. You just said men, it's this, and this. And, we have to be perfect. But yeah, Spence is a father. Spence is this, Spence is that. I understand you criticizing him and saying he's a coward, but yeah, he's a coward in your eyes who is a father. You know what I'm saying? He's still in the game of boxing, which he's trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? So I think Blair might be drawing from his personal life right now, and that perspective, what he just mentioned, I'm totally on board with what he just said from experience. I get it.
Is that what it is? Men have to be perfect. We can't be hurting. We get hurt and fucking go through some real shit and need to cry out for help, and they make a meme out of it. You know what I mean? They make a fucking meme out of it. Oh, poor Kanye West. You know what I mean? Poor this guy, poor that guy. They make a meme out of your ass. Mental health is serious, and it needs to be taken serious.
So is he piggybacking or riding shotgun off what's going on with Kanye West in the media? because like I said, when he started the swerve, he started jerking the wheel big time. And you know, he mentioned Kanye West, and we all know what's going on with him, which is serious business. I don't know per se if Blair Cobbs is going through a situation like this for him to even mention Ye's name, but that's some personal shit dealing with relationship type stuff, you know, outside of boxing. Let me get to some of these comments in the chat. Keeman said, "Come back. What up? What up with it? Blair out here hurting feelings. He is, man. He's getting to the feelings. Blair silly ass know who name to say to get attention. He better beat Rocha. Yeah, he better. He has no choice but to. Willie Lowe on deck, man. What's good, my guy? What's good, man? Shout out to Willie Lowe up there in Alabama, man. Team Bomb Squad in the building. My bro, what it do, fam? Like button smash. Appreciate you there, Willie. Appreciate you pulling up once again, bro. Blair the Flair been talking all that shit. Spence ended with him with 2 simple tweets. Ended him. No. He didn't end him. I mean, that's self-explanatory. He's not the only fast track boxer. Let's look at Joe Joyce now. Joe Joyce is more quiet, but Joe Joyce has about the same amount of fights as freaking Blair Flair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's plenty of fighters that start the sport late. It's plenty of them that's looking for that championship entry. They still waiting for that ticket. Showtime say he is funny, though he said when he looks at Spence, he sees a defeated man. Yeah, man. I think more so like after the accident, he may see some type of reservation in Spence. It seems like Spence is much more weaker than what he used to. As far as his expression, I don't know what he was getting at. It kind of swerved over quick. Blair got shit on his mind, but I like it. I like how he's letting his voice be heard, and he's really drawing in the attention. L5 player say the arrow Kose is real. I'm not sure what that is. I'll tell you, peace, my concrete combat listening now. Appreciate you there, L5 player in the building. Solid combat tweets from Spence, but not the world ending. I agree. Blair, a fan, that wants to be to see Spence versus Crawford like the rest of us. You think? I think he would like to see himself in the equation too. For real. I really think he would like to see himself in the equation because you know he's gonna get a nice little check. These welterweights send emojis nowadays. Blair served arrow papers. We need this more. Now, what L5 player said about, emojis, you notice I don't use emojis like that. Like when I'm actually expressing and having a dialogue with somebody, I really don't use emojis. I just put a smiley face up there. That's it. Because I put so much purpose into saying that, well, I'm speaking to an adult and they should know how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving on. Showtime said, L5 player facts, the game need this. Talk your shit, Blair. Nobody else in saying shit in boxing is too quiet. It is there, Andrew. It is, bro. I like what Blair is saying. He's all over the place, but goddamn it, he's in a sport that's all over the place. He's calling a coward to the right person to get that attention, because this is what Spence came back with. I'm pretty sure the Tattletales, you know what I'm saying, the Rovers, the Tattletales and Rovers ran back. Arrow. Are you here? Where's a pebble? Give me a pebble. I gotta throw a pebble at this window. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker went back running. Arrow, did you hear? What Blair and Flair said? He called you a coward. The whole interview. That's the only thing they took back. He called you a coward. So let's look at what Errol Spence responded with. Errol says, and this is the WBC IBF Unified Welterweight World Champion, Errol Spence Jr. He say, and I read Buddy backstory, if I'm cursed, what the F, WTF, he think going on with him, with a clown emoji. And then I didn't put the other two in here. I just took the two most important ones. And he says, y'all listening to a 33-year-old, he actually 32, but 33-year-old prospect. Media has to stop being so thirsty for content. Nigga looks up to Ric Flair. Now, media, now we're not going to get into that because media is what? Media is supposed to go out and source, relocate, search, seize, whatever you got to do, rescue. You have to go out and find. You have to go on a treasure hunt for freaking content. People need to get out their feelings when it comes to media trying to grab information. That's what we're here to do. We're not being thirsty. We're fully hydrated. And you know how we get more hydrated? We go out here and look for content involving you and everybody else with a name. We go out here and look for content. That's the premier basis of YTC, to go out and find content. That content sometimes is precipitated from what? The higher platforms. You know what I'm saying? The boxing scenes, the boxing news, ESPN, Fox, CBS, all these platforms, like Mike Coppinger and everybody that are able to get this news first and put it out there. So you need to tell Mike Coppinger and all these other platforms not to be thirsty because they're hydrating off of you too. Absolutely they are. They're getting paid to break news and they put it out there, whether it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Looking up to Ric Flair, we can say that about a lot of boxers who have picked characters to go off of. You know what I'm saying? So if he has this thing about Ric Flair, I don't find it too bad, when it comes to boxing. He's not walking around here with blonde hair, bleached hair. You know what I'm saying? He did put on the mink or whatever and do his thing. He must influence somebody because goddamn it, Rolly did too. Let me get back to this video.
Being a believer is more than just throwing up a couple memes. It's more than just saying a couple nice things. Prayer has to be a consistent thing. Consistently. You have to be with God every day. You know what I'm saying? Getting over that mental illness and depression and all that stuff, anxiety that he's going through, the only thing that can heal it is God. You can take some drugs and that'll patch you up for a couple days. But in the end, that problem is still there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, do I think that he should have took that time off? Absolutely. But also believe that you can fight. I mean, I don't know if he believes that he can win these fights anymore.
Well, y'all know as much as I've been critical of Errol Spence, right? He did step back in the ring against Danny Garcia. A Danny Garcia that has a pretty official, certified resume. So I have to leave it, I have to leave myself to say that Blair is a bit sketchy on that perspective because he did return from the sport after the accident and he did go in there and put a beating on Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He did go in there. He didn't stop him, but it was a pretty much a lopsided affair. Point blank period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was a lopsided affair. Now, taking time off, it all depends on the body itself. I don't know Errol Spence's body. I'm not a physician. I'm not his doctor, any of that. I'm not close to his people, any of that. So only he knows what he's experiencing. And I've been on record as saying from an accident, that the severity of accident such as that, I believe there is or going to be residual outcomes that he experienced as he continued to live in prosperity. As he continued to go on about his life, he may indeed, feel some type of telltale residuals off that accident. But what Blair Cobb is speaking of, a mental illness, is it an accident or mental illness? Because when he came in there and faced Sean Porter, he was coming off the highlight of his boxing career. And then after that, of course, he had the accident and so forth. And he had to fight with Danny Garcia. And then he was, in the process of coming back, returning to face the legend himself, Manny Pacquiao, and received the eye injury. Is Errol Spence fragile? We'll see as he continues to fight the tough competition. Because look, after Danny Garcia, he's stepping there with Yordenis Ugas. That's not a soft touch. There's two fights that's not soft touches. The world will be tuned in to see him fight Yordenis Ugas. The world, and especially the YTC Spencerholic channels on here, will definitely be tuned in. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a big test from a guy who's had a meteoric rise as of late. Like, Yordenis Ugas has seized the moment. And people are looking at this fight as a 50-50 slot. There's not too much to debate on that. And the reason why it's so much a 50-50 grab is because of the fact that they are still, a little bit doubtful that he's 100% off that. Even him stepping in with Danny Garcia. When he received that eye injury, some of his people start to, bite their fingernails a little bit, try to, start talking to themselves, having self-conversations, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it all out. Like, is he 150%? Like, is he back? He's coming down with these injuries. You're talking about a man who used to balloon up in weight, drop weight, and go into the ring to now, he's being shut down with little minor injuries. But we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, he's faced up against a lot of real adversity.
Shout out to Fight Hype for that. I have to cite them because they was there. You know what I'm saying? I cite individuals who I get info from because that's the way you're supposed to do it professionally. Unlike some people, they just take your shit and they don't even give you any type of credit for it. L5 player said the Tattletales. Yeah, man, the Tattletales run back and tell, man. You can see their footprints. They pitter patter and everything running up there. Andrew say Spence was putting out workout videos while Danny was posting poolside vacation videos weeks before their fight. That's not Errol's fault, but that's what was happening. Man, you definitely pay attention. I mean, Danny Garcia been living that great life. He's been getting paid good. He got little small businesses going on. Yeah. He did what he had to do. He went there and took that ass whooping. Because in my opinion, Danny went in there just like Chavez Jr. He wasn't there to defeat Errol Spence. He wasn't there. Why? Because Danny was planning on moving up to 154. It's getting difficult for him to make this weight. Danny is like the Capone of the welterweight division, man. He's here. He has a presence. He's doing his own freaking thing. Every time you see him on camera, he's doing something. He's in his swag, not in his bag. He already got that. He's in his swag. That's DSG. But yes, Danny credentials are certified. Yeah, he's certified, bro. But back to the Spence situation. I think putting this tweet back up, right? To be honest with you, I think it was light. For anyone who's saying he ended COBBS with just maybe 4 tweets, it's far from the truth. You know what I'm saying? He's just looking at his backstory as a person that started boxing late. Everybody have their own backstory, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have an extensive amateur career. Everybody rise to fame is different. Everybody's journey is different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, backstory has a different hourglass to it. That's just the way it happens. Him telling pretty much Spence said something we already know. We understand that Blair had a fucked up childhood and everything, and his pops was up there into some criminality, and he was convicted for it. You know what I'm saying? But during that time, Blair had to walk around as low key as possible because of it. I do think he hit it on the head when he said WTF he think going on with him. If people look at Blair the Flair, they can say, yeah, he got some shit going on. Is God looking out for you? Well, yeah, somebody who's looking from a spiritual standpoint, they can say, yeah, he got God on his side because he made it to the point he is now from being in such a chaotic type of childhood, an unstable childhood. Yeah, he got some shit on his side. Now in boxing, they might say the same because the man, was knocked down in the first round and still made it to the point for his opponent not to make it out in the seventh. He was on the canvas, in the sixth round. You know what I'm saying? His opponent was on the canvas in the sixth round and didn't make it out for the seventh. So who was on Blair's side? But I think more so what Spence is talking about is that where he's at in his boxing career, and people have to understand, just because a fighter is at a certain age right now, without an extensive amateur career at all, they may have physical preservation. You know what I'm saying? Their body might have been preserved to a point where you look at certain fighters that has all the wear and tear and tread on their body from the amateurs over to the professionals. And then when they get to a little over their mid 30s, you start seeing the declivity and you start saying to yourself, why? Man, so-and-so just looked good. Man, like 5 fights ago, what the fuck? Like, damn, the degradation is obvious right now. Somebody with Blair, he might can fight till he's 40. So you take that, you give him 8 more years, he might be able to do something with that shit. If he beats some top names, Blair might be in the running. It seems like he's going to be at 47. There's going to be a changing of the guard soon. Blair might become a world champion at 47, bro. Y'all might have to take that in consideration. Don't discount it so quickly. Don't discount it now. It was during the pandemic, so I get why Danny was chilling, but Spence wasn't. Only thing I can say about Spence working hard is it might have been a whole lot of collateral situations that he had to go hard like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, the potential of ailments he might have been trying to work through and get his body back in condition. Soft tissue type injuries and shit like that. Because he just didn't land softly. We seen the hospital picture. He didn't land softly on a slab of pavement. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there are people that still criticize him for placing himself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I place my criticism on Errol Spence, people act like other people have not did that also. Also, they try to basically ignore the fact that it was a self-inflicted situation, which has been spoken about in public media. You know what I'm saying? This has been spoken out in local media all over about this incident. So why my people want to come hard at people who are accessible, they're people, we need to stop being so aggressive with one another when shit is already out. I can give a fuck what somebody think that's already been reported on the news, and I'm talking about it myself. That doesn't make any sense at all. The shit's already been reported. So when you hear other people voicing their criticism and saying it was self-inflicted, and he should have been thinking about his family before it happened, and where was all his mentors? Where's all his circle? Where was all these people at? That's all I'm saying. So if Blair wants to come at him, that's between them as boxers. But the way I look at it as media, I have to call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear me, sit up here and provide you a whole rant of none but scatology type of damn expressions, obscenities, vulgarity and shit. But I have to really say fuck some of y'all, because I'm like, this is a situation, like I'm not seeing the same energy with Blair. Like Blair's been talking mad shit about Errol Spence, and I'm not seeing y'all post shit to match it. I'm not seeing y'all go in on Blair. I'm not seeing y'all do that, man. But yet, y'all see cats on here on YouTube that's speaking about something that is public record, and y'all are upset that it's dealing with Spence. That I'm critical of Spence at certain points. I'm like, bro, don't expect me to just, have some type of empathy. Don't expect me to just to sit back and be passive aggressive. I'm gonna keep on talking my shit because the way I look at it, it's not personal. I'm doing less than Blair is. Blair is calling the man a coward. He's basically imprinting or insinuating that mental illness has a big role to play in Errol Spence's life. He's not a doctor. He's an unemployed physician like me. Unqualified, unemployed, all of it. He is a boxer. That's what Blair is. But he's making a name right now because Blair the Flair understands the window for which he has. He's looked out of it for quite some time, and now he's trying to jump through it. You know what I'm saying? Blair ain't trying to go through the front door. He's trying to make his presence known by diving through the window. You're going to hear it much better, and you're going to be unprepared. And that's what he got when he went on TBV. He let his voice be heard. They chopped that shit up, chopped and screwed, boom, put it back out there. Then he go to an open workout. That was maybe one or two media members up there asking him, just trying to get it out of him. And they did a pretty decent job. I mean, I wish it would have been more media members out there that's on here that we know of, other than the big ones. You know what I'm saying? Like myself, I'm saying? Showtime. Showtime's already been up there to a media with Jamel Charlo. If y'all don't remember, he had Charlo in his feelings. You know how that goes. Nonito Donaire steal the truth, and he up there. Yeah, Nonito Donaire is a perfect example. Appreciate bringing that to the surface there, Willie. Nonito Donaire is that guy. He went the distance with Monster. He is an older guy. Not only did he lose to Monster in the decision, they said, you know what? We think we're going to move you over here next door to the WBC to face Nordine O'Bali. What did he go over there and do? He went over there and defeated O'Bali, dog. I was at the fight when O'Bali won that title. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Nonito Donaire, yeah, you got to give a big salute to the Filipino sensation, Nonito Donaire, man. So I think at this point in time, champions, we have Donaire and we have John Casimiro, that's Filipinos, that's champions at bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? I'm beat fighter on that. What's good? The only underlining thing is Spence it is a coward to duck Crawford. So it is what it is. Well, like I mentioned the other day, when we talking about ducking, I said what I said on that situation. I do believe Spence has made it a bit more difficult to give us the confirmation that he's willing and able to step in there and face Crawford without trying to put numbers, and give us that foreplay with numbers. We ain't trying to hear that. We trying to get the fight made like all these other fights. Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, they made the fucking fight. Teofimo Lopez, Vasil Lomachenko, they made the fight. And that was with Teofimo negotiating. You know what I'm saying? He negotiated, from my understanding, 1.2 to 2 mil. But the fight happened. Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano, boom, they made the fight happen. Canelo Alvarez, he finally made the opportunity. Okay, I'm gonna start my berth at becoming undisputed 68. Let's go. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Sanders, Caleb Plant. It's a wrap. Over. Done. Now we still sitting right here at the 47, waiting. So I can see why people are feeling some type of way. I can see why people say Errol Spence, has been making this situation a bit more difficult than it should be. All the rhetoric that just been passed as trying to put this off on Crawford, man, how? The one good thing and honorable thing that Crawford said was he wasn't going to fight the man coming off an accident. Because if Crawford would have fought Errol Spence coming off an accident and really punished that man and injured that man, and he ended up like Gerald McLean, the fight fans would have been all goddamn vilifying this man to the end of the day. They would have had so much negative say about Crawford. Tomorrow, you didn't have to do the man like that. This and that, and then not even thinking about Errol Spence took the fight. He said he didn't want no soft touches on his return. So if he would have stepped in there with Crawford, and Crawford stepped on him in a different way, and he really didn't make it out that fight, he took too much damage coming off the accident. People would have vilified that man to the end, bro. They would have had so much hateful shit to say about Crawford. But when the man stepped up and said, I don't want to fight that man coming off an accident because you're not going to give him my just due. That's facts. B Fighter say, was your moral compass keeping you from calling Thurman a coward when he didn't fight Spence? I think are you speaking about me or are you speaking about Blair? Only underlying thing is Spence is a coward to duck Crawford. So it is what it is. So who are you saying was your moral compass keeping you from calling Thurman a coward when he didn't fight Spence? I know I didn't use those words. Are you speaking about me saying Thurman was a coward for not fighting Spence? I never even had that mentality. That's not even a behavior that I would have came up with to say, okay, let me call. I would have said duck if anything. I've said ducking for Keith Thurman because he didn't acknowledge the call out for whatever reason. He might have been injured or whatever the case may be. But I'm just gonna leave that as it is until you drop back in the live chat. Who are you speaking on? It couldn't be me. If you're talking about Blair the Flair, then you know what? It might be a light-skinned brother looking out for another light-skinned brother, for real. Because he really haven't said anything bad about Keith Thurman. So that might be a light-skinned connection going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We need unity either way it goes, even if the skin complexion is a little bit lighter. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's a little bit worse because Keith Thurman just took a hiatus because of injuries. Errol Spence was all over the news. You know what I'm saying? Not just the fact that he had an accident, it's the fact that he was coming off one of the biggest fights of his career and he won. I mean, people was on a high. He unified the welterweight division. He picked up the WBC belt. He defeated Sean Porter. So people's like, shit, he is, them Errol Spencerholics, they was over here saying, strap season, man down, Spence this, Spence that. And coming off that fight, okay, cool. But me, I was sitting back and I was saying, well, yeah, he did that. Are we gonna get this fight next? Or are we gonna get that fight next? It went to shit from there, trying to figure out what was next. And when the accident took place, we didn't really know how long it was gonna take for him to come back. When we found out he was coming back, we didn't know who he was gonna face. And then these crazy fans was out here saying they wanted him to come back and face Crawford. Crawford could have did that man extremely dirty. And he never could have been the same. I don't even think Crawford would have wanted that to happen to Spence. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have wanted that shit to be on his conscience. He wouldn't want to go in there and hurt that man. And just because, he felt like, okay, this would be good money. Let me push for this fight. Let me catch him coming off an accident. It's certain people that wouldn't give a damn if Spence was coming off an accident. And they say, sign me up, man. I'm making an example out of him. Sign me up. Go ahead, sign me up. He want to come back to the sporting box. He signed up for it. Let me take the fight. Yeah, give me that fight. I don't care about nothing. Give me that fight. But Terrence Crawford pretty much put it out there. Having integrity, being an honorable person. He say, nah, I don't want that fight off the accident because you're never gonna give me credit for that. I go in there and step on Spence, you're gonna feel like, well, he wasn't even healthy. The same shit they say about Jose Benavidez, him being shot in the leg. You know, they ain't gonna give you credit for the shit. One fight that I am looking forward to in the biggest way, more and more, after listening to Shakur Stevenson go around here with the interviews and everything, and Oscar Valdez. I'm listening to both of these guys. I am looking forward to this fight, man. Am I looking forward to it more than I am Errol Spence and Udenis Ugas? Absolutely not. But it's very close. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because Shakur Stevenson is the future of the sport. Him and Oscar Valdez is young in the game. You know what I'm saying? Both champions. And this is one of those fights where both of them going to go in there and people looking at like a 50-50 fight. If people saying Shakur is going to dominate, then that's based off his hardcore fans, his dedicated fans that rock with him heavy, just like the ones that's on Oscar Valdez's side. Regardless if Oscar Valdez pop dirty or not, he's going to have his fan base still rocking with him. They're not going to digress from that. They're going to still rock with the man super heavy, bro. So they're just waiting for this fight to happen. It might be a boring ass fight. Shakur might go in that shit and make it look too easy, man. And they'll be like, oh, man, Toka Conclari all over again. Oh, man, that shit was boring. He can't do that, man. Shakur has to be more exciting. He can't go in here and just woo the fans to sleep. He can't go in there and dominate like that. He has to engage. How can he go in there with a fight and we just watch Michael Conlan go in there against Lee Wood? Did he see the fight? People are gonna start comparing this shit. They be like, we want you to fight like Woods and Conlan. Wood and Conlan. That's who we want you to fight like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking down. Look, I'm looking forward to that fight right there, man. I'm looking for some changes to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to see what's cooking in some of these divisions without talking about the same shit. Like, I am very disappointed that Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo isn't happening. I'm not sure why that's the case, but with the energy that Jaime Munguia is bringing off his win, it would have been a good time just for him to sign up. But I'm hearing it might be a Dames, Carlos Adames, that gets the fight. I don't know why this fight wouldn't happen. Why are these fights falling out? Charlo, man, he might be going through some stuff. I don't know. But it would have been good to see him stepping there against Jaime Munguia. And then they talking about the winner, I guess, we get Charlo, I'm supposing. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Jaime Munguia has some steam behind him. And he's chugging away right now. For real. Jaime Munguia is making his motherfucking revelation as we speak. In my eyes, I'm just saying, to be one of those premier fighters that people looking forward to seeing with 39 professional wins. Shit. Yeah, they're looking forward to seeing this guy. And also you have coming up, I got to mention Jahad Tucker's on deck. He's contending for a 7th professional fight this upcoming week, along with the monster himself, Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga is going to be stepping in there with Steve Rose. And we're going to have Calvin Davis on deck. We're going to have the sensation himself, Xander Zayas back in the pocket. Xander Zayas has been on a motherfucking tear. I don't care what his opposition look like. Zayas is another name that you're going to have to pay attention to because his demeanor as a whole He just reminds me of Tito Trinidad. He just reminds me of, like, right now he's a 1-of-1 in how he goes in there and contend. But speaking with him, he's a very strong-minded individual. He knows where he's trying to go in his boxing career. He knows what he needs to do to be a fan favorite. Xander Zayas is everything that they believe him to be before he even turned professional. He is. He really put on for the crowd. He really does, man. And y'all better keep an eye out for that cat right there, dog. And he's in a hot division right now too. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a wild, wild story. You know, once Zayas finally reaches that doorstep where he's right there and he's about to go in there and face somebody, that's gonna be crazy, bro. Xander Zayas, man, he's promising, for real. He's promising. You know, let's say 54, 60, 68. At least three divisions. At least three divisions. He got pretty good height on him. And he's big too, you know, right now. So he might even end his career. He's so young, man. Xander might end his career potentially at heavyweight cruiser. And look at Canelo. You know, Canelo might even still go up there to cruiserweight when it's all said and done. But Xander Zayas, man, keep your eye out for him. Real talk, man. Keep your eye out for there. And Shushu is on deck again, man. You know, Shushu is very entertaining to watch also. So you know, Shushu is gonna be back on deck, and this is gonna be an NYC. And y'all keep your eye out and tune into the fight. And also, you know, the one and only Michael Williams is returning. I know a lot of people have been talking, some, you know, a lot good, and some chit chatter like always, the haters. But, you know, he's returning back to the ring next month in Alabama. And, you know, he's going in there for his 20th professional victory. Now, a lot of people are just speaking a lot about a guy who never really stepped up to that stage before. He went in there and was knocked down multiple times by John Bowser. And you have to, you know, you give John Bowser credit for going in there getting a victory. We get it. It's boxing. But also, I will accredit, you know, Michael Williams Jr. for getting off the canvas as many times as he did. I will credit him for not quitting, for fighting a weight class lower than his regular weight. He fight at 47. He came in at 138.4. That's a lot of weight to be losing, bro. To come in there and has no strength. And then, you know, he didn't rehydrate properly. He was still within the low 40s when he rehydrated. But, you know, John got the job done. And that's the way it goes in boxing sometime. But he is set to return in Alabama and contend for his 20th victory. The card's going to be stacked, man. We got Andrew Murphy. You know, all these guys are trained by Roy Jones. Roy Jones, you know, he's going to have a lot of fighters on that card. You have Michael Williams Jr., you're going to have Fernando Bunch, you're going to have Andrew Murphy. There's going to be a lot of, you're going to have Noel fighting a 12-round fight. How often do you get a 12-round championship fight on a regional card? You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have Noel fighting again. You know, shout out to Noel. Michael Williams Jr., shout out to your return, your comeback. And also El Terrible, Fernando Bunch, he'll be back in the building. It's gonna be a heavy card over there, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be heavy over there. That's what's popping for real. What else did I want to mention? My last what was it? Oh, the Javante and the Rolly Romero deal. And this is the way I assess that situation. You know, like I said before, Rolly was the type of dude that was headbutting buses. You know, he's tougher than people think. He's the type of dude to do, you know, that perform a lot of daring acts for a damn bologna sandwich back in the day. I don't know, but Rolly's going to be tested in there against Gervonta Davis. And I can guarantee you Gervonta is going to fight a different type of fight that he did with Isak Cruz. You know what I'm saying? He said that Isak was not, the taller fighter that he was usually facing and everything. He pretty much put it out there. And, people are going to say what they want to say. But you get Rolly Romero, who's so far has shown he has a chin. He has a chin strap that's respectable, but yet none of his opponents have been the name Gervonta Tank Davis. None of them. None of his opposition has been the name with the physical detriment as Gervonta Tank Davis. That's what I want to see. If Rolly goes in there and try to box Gervonta, it's going to be a crazy fight. If he goes in there and try to rough Gervonta up, he might have a little success, because sometimes if you catch him at the right time, Tank takes some time off. But who has Rolly proven that he can fight on the inside with? You fight on the inside with Tank, you liable to get your ass lit up with one of those uppercuts or hooks. I mean, I don't know where Rolly's gonna go to be successful with Tank, dog. Besides, roughing him up, getting a cut early, cutting him up, having dripping, thinking about that cut, make him get out of character, try to rattle him with some dirty tactics and shit like that. Hit him low, get that warning, because that happens a lot in boxing. Hit him low, give him that warning, but make it stick. I think Rolly's going to try anything and everything that he's learned in the Mayweather gym, in those doghouse rules. I think he's going to apply that to Tank by all means necessary to attempt to get that win. If Rolly is the first one to defeat Gervonta Davis, his career catapults to a whole nother stratosphere. Real talk. He goes to the stars, man. No matter how it is. Rolly believes that he's much tougher, he hit harder, and he has a better chin. He believes it. He believes that, so he's gonna have to prove it. Explain to me why people don't like black boxer, Shaker, Devin Law, Rigondeaux, Mayweather, Stephen Shaw, etc. Call them boring, but the white one's exciting. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, they should know how the brothers get down anyway. The brothers that like to go in there and make it look easy without even taking the punishment. But in this era of boxing, even Floyd, in some of his fights, he took punishment, but not like he delegated like Diego Corrales. You know what I'm saying? Like the Castillo fight, like that rematch, people demanded it and they got it. They didn't get the outcome they wanted, but they got it. You know what I'm saying? They got it. People are always going to look at certain fighters, especially the black fighters, and they want them to do more. You know what I'm saying? They want them to do more. Now, Rigondeaux, Willie, I don't know if you should have put Rigondeaux in there, because there's been some fights that I found myself slobbing and I was dead asleep on the floor. Like I just came out the club and shit, intoxicated. He was so fucking boring. I ain't gonna lie. You should have left him out there, Willie. For real. Now, Devin, Laura, and all them, I can see what people talking about. Technically sound fighters, they go in there and box. D-Ray Promotions on deck. What's good? What's good? I have nothing from Spence that exemplifies coward thus far. It's funny that if Spence was to return and fight a 33-year-old prospect with 16 fights, that would be labeled cowardly. How ironic. Who are you talking about fighting with 16 fights? You talking about Blair? Nobody would be talking about if it was cowardly, because Blair would have gotten what he wanted. Like, if the title situation wasn't as important as it was, let's just say in the welterweight division, the environment, the mood is somewhat like 60. Now, that would be different. If the welterweight division was somewhat like the elevator music that's being played at 160 pounds, then we got a whole nother situation. We got different scenarios that can play out of what you're speaking about, Mitch. You know, he maybe come back if he wasn't planning on unifying and fight somebody like Blair. You know, just think about the Michael Fox situation when he fight Maestro, right? Maestro had 3 fights, 2 or 3 fights. Michael Fox had what, 18 fights or something like that? D-Ray says, Showtime, salute the sauce. Yeah, salutes to the sauce talk. King Mitch, salute. Arrow called him a 33-year-old prospect. Well, you know, the word prospect is one that is kicked around a lot in these boxing streets. Real talk. It rattles like an empty can, bro. I mean, that prospect shit, how, can you call Xander Zayas still a prospect? Like, he's going for his 12th professional victory. Is he still a prospect? You know what I'm saying? Are we just looking at the numbers of these fighters? Because Joe Joyce isn't a prospect. Joe Joyce had what, 15 professional wins or something? He's not a prospect. If you're not going to call Joe Joyce a prospect, you can't call Xander Zayas a prospect. You definitely can't call Tio a prospect. So that prospect terminology has been used and abused. Because we know how long it took for Tio to win the IBF championship. And then we know what it took in the 16th fight for him to win the unified titles. So you cannot sit up here and examine what a prospect is just based off the numbers, the win and losses. When I put it to you this way, most of the time when you hear prospect, it's when you have an undefeated fighter that's coming up through the ranks. Like, they'll call Jahad Tucker a prospect. But he may indeed get a title shot at 11 or 12 fights. Jay Ocho on deck, man. What it do? Salute WCS. Salute to you, my brother. He say Fury, Loma, Usyk, Canelo, etc. All commentators busting nuts, losing their minds, saying, "Oh my God, he's in the Matrix." When boxing and moving, but the black one's boring and running. Shit ridiculous to me. Yeah, they do. I mean, more so Lomachenko, bro. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko got that effort. Usyk too. And Canelo, we already know. Like, you know, depending on who commentating, you know, Canelo, he always get that sauce, right? But more so Lomachenko, man. You know, even Gennady. When Jim Lampley used to commentate Gennady's fight, bro, it would drive you crazy listening to Lampley how biased he was. But hey, that's what they did for the paycheck. That's what they did. They was willing and able to look one way and zoom in on one fighter and give them that through the mic. They knew they had the platform. They knew they had the device for their voice to be heard. And they didn't give a fuck about what we thought, because that's just the way it is in boxing. Everyone is getting paid. Just look at Tim Bradley. Let's look at Andre Ward and certain comments they have made. Come on now. I sat there, and as I was looking through the lens, they kicked what's his name from the platform that does boxing commentary. Triller kicked him off the live show because he was too bland. They said, "We want you to be lit, like you sitting in the house, like the Real Husbands of Hollywood, like you sitting at the card table, like you having some drinks, smoking, chilling, relax. They want you to act like Oscar De La Hoya came in there fucked up." Al Bernstein was in culture shock when he came to Triller. Al Bernstein coming there with his veteranness. That ain't the word. Al Bernstein came in there with his veteranness, his tenure. And he found out, God damn, this is like being in college. These fools are crazy. What if Rolly hurt Tank early? You can't deny his power. He's big at 135. He's big. He's big, no doubt. We can't deny Rolly Romero isn't big for 135. As long as he make the weight and still able to maintain his strength. But Rolly has a different type of strength. You know, Rolly seems like he has retard strength a bit. Not retard as far as the action, but retard as far as strength that you may be innately gifted with, that you didn't have to work hard to build on. I mean, but we'll see, because everybody's system is wired different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to see, can he stand those punches, man? And the way we're looking at film, if we look at film of Rolly in his previous fights, his chin is there to be severed and dispersed and never located again. They will have to damn send a search team out there. His chin is so up there. Gervonta has every avenue to knock Rolly Romero out. He has a lot of bad habits, bro. His hands are not faster than Tank's. He loads up too much. Tank has pretty good defense. He's going to have to come in there and have some pretty decent cardio, because, you know, Rolly Romero is going to keep on coming forward. That we do know. He's going to continue to come forward, That we do know. Floyd might stop the fight if that happened. Man, you know what? I will hope not, that J. Ocho, for real, because I would hate for chaos to erupt like Zab Judah in his situation post-fight when he was knocked out by Zoo. I know that's two different situations, but all I'm saying is Tank ain't nothing to play with when it comes to, you know, where he's from. He's from Baltimore, and I done seen Tank lose it. We all have seen Tank lose it. But Zab Judah wasn't nothing to play with either. And when Jay Needy stopped the motherfucking fight and he put his glove around Needy's neck, you know, that was letting you know Zab ain't nothing to play with. I think if Floyd stopped that fight, Tank might start putting hands on Floyd. It don't matter how many necklaces he has on. He's like, God damn, dude. I wonder, do they have an understanding that he won't stop the fight? I wonder, do they have that understanding that Deontay Wilder had with his team? I'm just curious if he has that go out on my shield addendum, that agreement between him and Floyd. I'm curious. Rigo put me to sleep a few times, bro. Real talk, man. Rigo is a walking Ambien. J. Ocho, Floyd believes in that zero more than he does the nearsightedness of a rematch of trilogy with Tank and Rolly. Can't put shit past TMT though, but Tank is their cash cow. Yeah, man, I doubt Floyd would stop the fight. Seriously. As big as Floyd ego, I've had the opportunity to see that ego at work. Floyd, man, come on, man. Come on. I don't know, man. It gets sketchy, because I'm really not trying to go into the conspirators type of spreadsheet and break down line for line where people try to say that Floyd is trying to sabotage Tank because he already made it perfectly clear that no one would be better than him. And being he have a cash cow in Gervonta Davis, you know what I'm saying? People think that it's some people out there that may think he will throw in the towel just so he can have that one on his record. Because the Floyd, that zero means every fucking thing, dog. That zero on his record means everything. He has a zero at the top of his record. He has a zero at the bottom of his record. That means everything to Floyd. To have a zero at the top and bottom of your boxing register. That's what his bragging rights is with Floyd Mayweather. 50. He had to go out here and best a guy who wasn't even contending in the same division when he retired. He said, oh, y'all keep talking about it. All right, cool. I'm going to go up there and top that and retire. Knowing there's other fighters that surpassed that, but they were still active. King Mitch, big facts. Tank is the TMT. What Canelo was the Golden Girl. Remember, they said Canelo's 9% of Golden Girl's revenue. Man, yeah, man. Goddamn Canelo making that freaking money at that time for Golden Girl, man. You know what I'm saying? He was making them dollar bills, still is. You know what I'm saying? He making money for himself right now. Rolly headbutts brick walls for fun. He does, man. You know, I remember, I made a joke about Rolly pretty much signing up for a summer job as a crash test dummy. And they was like, Rolly, we have goddamn protective equipment for you. No. I don't need that equipment. Rolly, put a helmet. This car is gonna go right into the wall. I don't need that. I'm good. I'm telling you, man, I'm good. I don't need that right now, man. I did this before as a child. I used to headbutt brick walls and buses and break windows and all that. I don't need no helmet. That's Rolly, goddammit. It's the judges that have caused the issues with boxing and the inside politics. Penny on deck. What's good with you? Boxing will always have. I mean, they will have a. The migration of locusts. That's how politics will always be in boxing. You know what I'm saying? It would be like the swarm of locusts. It would never go anywhere. Like you they there, but every now and then it just sweeps over. It causes the carnage and destruction, and they keep it moving to the next sector of boxing. I mean, politics and boxing, it's too many people that's got their hand in there to make money. So yeah, it's always going to be that way. And fighters are always going to get fucked over because of it. Rolly was the kid at school people hit with sticks, skates, bottles, and let the girls kick him in the balls for fun. You know the one kid that always say, that don't hurt. Keep playing. Hey, man, you might be right, dog. You might be right, dog. Damn, that's fucked up, dog. Mitch need to begin his stand-up. He need to do his stand-up, his stand-up debut. If anything, the ref would stop Rolly, and Rolly would be the one to spaz out like Zab. Yeah. You ain't never lied, Mitch. I'm just saying I was using that scenario if Floyd was to stop Tank. But man, if the referee fuck around and stop Rolly fight, he may go ballistic in that motherfucker, dog. Rolly might get ballistic up in there, bro. They need to have a referee in that fight. No Jack Reese, man. No Jack Reese. But if Kenny Bayless can handle himself. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Kenny Bayless in person and shit, chopped it up. He can handle himself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. But as far as team members, yeah, we might get some different shit, dog. We might get some Oliver McCall type revisiting. We might get some shit where motherfuckers break down and start shedding tears and stuff like that. We might get the damn Riddick Bowe and when he was fighting his pa, I forgot old boy name, where Rock jumped up on the ring apron and pulled his opponent over the top. Yeah, they was brawling like that. Who else? It's somebody else that got into a fight. The fighters lost their damn mind. Oh, even Floyd Mayweather, even Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, when the Evander Holyfield shit went down, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, of all people. I tell people, they treat that man like a god, dog. Rolly like Loke, dog. From Don't Be a Menace. Nigga literally got a job as a crash test dummy. Car hit the wall. He yelled one more time. Yeah, for sure, man. Man, I pissed a little when you did that imitation. Rolly talk. Oh my God, shit was funny. I'm telling you, man. Shit, that's Rolly, dog. They be trying to tell that dude to get a helmet, man. Rolly up there got his tongue in between his teeth. I don't need that, man. Right now, I don't need no helmet. I'm good. I've been through windshield before. I don't need no helmet. Rolly, put the helmet on. You want to, have your career. I'm telling you, Rolly, man. I don't know, man. I'm really looking forward to that Tank fight. I'm still going with my boy Tank. But Rolly gives me this sense of General Bob. Anybody who works out in the gym knows who General Bob is. General Bob is a statue that's up there to be hit. You know what I'm saying? It's the dude that has no arms, just a torso, neck, and head. And you just go in there and punch the shit out of him. Yeah. Rolly reminds me of a General Bob. I just want to see how it plays out when he steps in the ring with Javante. Does he really is his chin certified? Does he have that chin where he's gonna go through the fight, never really being hurt like Esau Cruz? But yet, will he be able to get off from Javante? That's the big question. I don't know. Rolly be up there with two black eyes, bloody mouth and nose, Bambi legs, and cross-eyed, talking about he never touched me. I was winning the fight. Man, you said some shit that, man, I can see Rolly doing that shit, dog. I can see. He never touched me, man. You know, that's a lie, man. I was good. The referee, he didn't know anything, man. Why he stopped the fight? This is my big mom, my mom. I don't buy my mom a house, man. He shouldn't have stopped the fight. Come on, man. Floyd. You know, man, I was good, man. Come on. I mean, Rolly be up there like, God damn, man. Y'all know I was beating that boy. You know I wasn't hurt. That's what Rolly's gonna tell y'all, man. He gonna say, man, I wasn't hurt. Fuck all that. I wasn't hurt. But you're right, man. But man, we're gonna call it a night, man. I'll be back on this joint tomorrow. But appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Y'all continue to hold it down. You know, Willie, Mitch, Andrew, Jay, you know what I'm saying? Penny rolled up. Showtime Shot News. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to his channel. D-Ray Promotions. Man, big shout out to you. B Fighter that was on deck. Who else was in here? Everybody else that tuned in, man, and then, you know, comment or whatever. Remember what I said? These big fights is coming up, man. Shout out to Teen Williams Jr. on deck next month. And you know, pay attention. You got your Hot Tucker on deck this week. You know what I'm saying? On Top Rank Affair. Along with Xander Zayas, man. You have the you know, Edgar Berlanga, Steve Rolls. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a pretty decent boxing week this week. But y'all hold it down, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.